Shabbat Shalom! It's Friday. Next week I actually get a Shabbat. I'm so excited. My schedule just happened to not have me working next Friday, and it had me working like other days in the week. I was like, ooh, that might be the perfect. I didn't even know it was possible. But if I don't work Friday night, that means I'll be off Saturday morning too. It's the proper Shabbat. I can't wait. Yeah, so fun night at work. I was on a private party. It was a rehearsal dinner for a wedding. They seemed like nice people. The father was like weeping through his whole speech. I thought it was so nice, so cute, so sweet. And I was just thinking, that bride, she better be nice to her sweet dad. She better like him. But yeah, it was a nice, fun evening, and I got out a little earlier than usual, so much to be grateful for. Loving the cards today. A continuation, just a big page turner, you guys, that we find ourselves in. So, when I'm looking over, I'm looking at the cards over there that we've had like from the week so far. I mean, our Monday cards, or was it midweek? Midweek cards was like countdown, tick, 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 like something is coming, divine shenanigans are at play and timing is at play here. And so I love that basically the general gist of it was like a surprise is coming. The manifestation is pushing against like manifest reality. And so it could be any minute, and it could be multiple goals and things that you've had this year, or something that's just like really exciting. But something's a brewing, and it's close. We've got the witch, which to me is the equivalent of the magician in the tarot. I'm like always big on using the Halloween oracle, like right around the week of Halloween. So I didn't use any tarot cards again today. But I love that we got the witch followed by the cauldron. I knew the cauldron was going to come out because I was like, oh, the witch. I was like, I bet we'll get the cauldron. I just like knew it because like she's got to be cooking up some magic. And I knew that we were in this divine like magic dark moment where like the fertility of like the dark womb is like cooking up something's a brewing out there, y'all. You know it, I know it, y'all can feel it. We've been anticipating like this happening, so very exciting. And then followed by the graveyard, which is specifically states here unnecessary fear. And remember, we had that in our, was it new moon and Scorpio solar eclipse Celtic cross reading from the straightforward oracle. That's my custom deck that I'm writing right now. Unnecessary fear came up, and it was like in a prominent position. I can't remember exactly where, but it just made me think, okay, right now we need to hold the line, like maintain your inner landscape so that you are surrendered and relaxed. You're not overthinking. You're not getting like jitters or bent out of shape or thinking like, oh, is it gonna happen, or am I gonna fail, or is the manifestation gonna come, like, or ooh, just like try to stay in excited anticipation as if it's like your birthday's coming up or Christmas is coming. So the witch is the earthly weaver of the worlds. So we have been working our intentions and doing that inner work of healing and unblocking and observing our patterns and saying, no, I'm going to pause. I'm actually going to observe the pattern and resist the urge to act on default setting, the old self. And now I am pausing, and I am with consciousness using my divine inheritance, which is my free will, to choose how I want to show up, how I want to react, or not react, but proactively meet the moment. Because we want to start training ourselves out of being reactive. We want to not be like reflexive and default, right? Because that's survival, that's animal instinct, and we are, a step above. It's like we need to keep those instincts, but then we need to have wisdom and logic and reason and compassion and all the things that elevate us. And when we can even transcend, even further, then that's even better. So the witch has been setting her intention, right? It's the magician. It's learning how to balance those governing forces within us. And from there, it's like, okay, I can keep my life in balance. All of the kingdoms of my life are in order, right? My kingdom is thriving in good order. So your energy has been good. Our emotions are getting good, even better, right? And then our mind is in a good place. And so we've been very magnetic, and I know we've all been tested. It's been a pretty eventful couple of months, I'm sure. For all of you, it has been a particularly, like this time of year every year is like a testing period of challenge, because it's like rounding out the year and starting the next year in the lunar calendar. But this year particularly, we've been really preparing ourselves for a huge news cycle, like almost like a complete timeline shift. And we've been using the metaphor of the old movie is now over and the sequel is coming, or like the next season. And so it's like, who are we becoming, and who are we? We're manifesting now a life that reflects the person that we've been sort of like we're always kind of experiencing the past, because it was our past conditioning and our past self and our past desires that set those seeds in motion. And then time and space, the 3D world, have to catch up. And so you're kind of living in what old you wanted at any given point. Well, this whole year has been like a bridge year, a building year, preparation year, where we've been recalibrating and giving the universe time to start cooking up the life that we want to manifest next from here. And so you might have seen just things like slowly like falling away, or slowly shifting or changing. It's like your whole world has been shape-shifting, and you have sort of been shape-shifting all year. And so we've been shifting, hopefully, to have more affinity with the light and with our higher selves. And so we've been trying to work through those old patterns, those old ego traps and cycles that we go through, and surrender that ego to the care of the higher self. So right now, I feel like this card is saying, like, you've really mastered, you're coming along in self-mastery. You are mastering your consciousness. You're starting to understand how to set your intentions and then follow your intuition, and trust when you feel the timing is right, and trust when you feel the timing is off, and act accordingly. And so because of that, like, everything has been cooking, and like big things are about to happen. This says synergy and healing. So as we start to walk into this new story, this new self, this new cycle, we're going to feel tested at first, because we're freshmen again in a new setting, and we have to learn how to be our higher selves now. So we're learning as we go, sort of like a person with amnesia. Who am I now? How do I respond to this now? What attracts me now? What do I like? What interests me now? Where is my heart? Now that I've had time to recalibrate, where is my deepest, like, core soul desire leading me, right? And how do I now take action to live that life? During our Secret Teachings of Jesus episode recently, I cut my arm at some work. We were talking about, I can't remember whether, no, it wasn't the vessel, the ceramic glass and vessel. It was the next segment about beingness. It was just being things. And it's like, I think I want to go back and revisit that portion again this week, because I've been having a lot of things come up about it. But it's like just being in that new state. It's like it starts now. The power is now, power of now. Like, the power's in the present. The only thing that's real is the present. So when Jesus was like, people were like, I want to be healed. And he was like, okay, just be healed then. And they're like, well, I don't know. What do you mean? And it's like, well, if you're from a vibrational standpoint, if you're like, oh, I'm healing, or I want to be healed, you are of the perception that you are not whole, that you're sick, right? So we need to adopt now, it's not like a Sunday. It's not like I'm working on being my higher self. It's like, no, you are your higher self. That your higher self is within you. Now is showtime, baby. This is not a rehearsal. You're on. Like, hurry, get to the mic. So being now the self that we want to be, so that we can start creating the life that we want to live within, right? So it's up to us to do that now, and we will be challenged. That's why it's important to take our time, because we're healing and we're synergizing all the healing that we've done with the self, the higher self that we're becoming. So take it slow. You will still be met with challenges. It's just that you're going to start feeling differently about them. And gradually the challenges will dissipate, because these challenges are probably coming from the past energy, and they're the reality that you created in the past. So do your best to catch yourself when you start going down those downward spirals, down those thought patterns that suck you in to the illusion. When you start not just feeling the feelings and observing them and observing the thoughts, but when you get like sucked into the story and you're like, yeah, it's never gonna go away, I'm never gonna work out, it's all those things, like, oh, it's never gonna be different, like it never was anything. Like, my parents never understood me. Like, stop doing this. Stop going in that broken record of round and round. Pause. You're like, okay, that soap opera is over. Like, I am moving on. I get a new story. Like, wash that old past out of your hair, shake it off, and like move forward. And so as we are doing that, though, we're going to be able to see our like healing in the works, because we will be challenged with those old themes, those old tests, those, like, everybody probably has a handful of like familiar lessons that they're always dealing with, or familiar challenges, or familiar annoyances, or you know what I mean. You have like a brand you have a brand package of your irritants and your difficulties and your challenges. And so similar situations might present themselves to like get at those little triggers, just to show you like, oh my God, I really have come a long way. But this is also another opportunity to elevate that darkness, transmute it, and embody the new self. So, just that life homework that we're always doing. We're always in life school. We never get to leave. We never graduate till we die. So just settle in. Graveyard. Unnecessary fear. So one thing that will come up to challenge us is going to be our ego. We can just bet on that, because as soon as your life starts getting really good and you start up leveling and you start feeling better and you're more happy, then your ego is like, I feel so insignificant. I am so threatened. You're so encroaching on my thing. I'm holding the pity party here. I'm grandiose. It's about me. I'm afraid, I lack, I'm scarce, I don't know, like I'm uncertain, I'm, second guessing. And so whatever great thing is happening right now, like the magic that's cooking, the manifestation that's pushing through, our equal opponent that stays with us the whole time, who manifests through the ego, is going to be like giving you all kinds of thoughts about how you're not enough to rise to the occasion. You're going to feel fear, lack, doubt, uncertainty, moments where you lack confidence, maybe delusions of grandeur. The ego will try to attack you. Just know that there's no substance to it. This is an unnecessary fear. This unnecessary part of it is funny. Is it spliff? Am I like the spliff like that you smoke? If I'm not pronouncing it right, I know you said you're from Germany, so I may be pronouncing it wrong. So sorry if I'm not pronouncing it right. But she actually pointed out earlier in a comment, she was like, I love that it's like unnecessary fear. And if you guys are wondering like, what earlier, where? I post on Instagram, and these like readings that we talk about on Monday, Wednesday, Friday, I post them like earlier in the day in a photograph in a written form. And like I have two accounts. One of them is just like a brand account, and the other one is more me and a little bit more personal. But Liz_Taylor_Magick is my more active account, and that's where I put like stories, and like I think I'm really good at stories. At least I really enjoy them. And the other account is Light Love Magic, just like the channel. But that's just general brand stuff. But yeah, so the comment was on the post, but she was like, I love that it's unnecessary fear, and I love that too, because it's just an extra reminder that this isn't valid fear. This is to be expected. You can go on and just swat it out of your face. But just know that when these come up, you can blow it off a little bit, but just recognize the fear. Look to see what it's really telling you. What kind of fear are you feeling? Are you feeling doubt that something's not going to work out? Are you feeling fear that you'll lose something? Are you feeling scarce? Like there's not enough, or you're not good enough, or you won't be able to deliver, you won't be able to fill the shoes. Like, are you feeling uncertain? Like I don't know what's going to happen. I'm indecisive or whatever. Like look for those things and then probe further. Why do I feel this way? Is this something that I've been aware of already that I'm trying to overcome? Like, have I evidence to contradict this leading up all this time? And even still, even if you're like, oh, well, I have a million examples of when this was true, it doesn't have to be this time around, right? Things are different. Things are changing. So there's something happening here. You know that song. Something's going on. Something's going down. Healing is happening, but like stuff's cooking. Like things are, magic is a brewing in the air. I'm very excited about it, and try to let go of fear and surrender the outcome of whatever you're worried about. Surrender your agenda and your timing and your expectations, and just be willing to trust that God's in control in a good way, and that there's a plan, and everybody's working behind the scenes to like make sure that the pieces are falling into place correctly, and all you have to do is not fuck it up with your feelings and your thoughts, like creating like crazy static in your electromagnetic field, like putting out a vibe that is like causing blocks or turbulence, or calling in like inconveniences you don't want. So just remember that your thoughts are like the electrical signal that goes out, but your feelings are the magnetic like thing that's like sucking the manifestation in. So don't feel scared, feel good, feel fun, have a good time, feel like a magical witch on Halloween, during the week of Halloween in the fall. And I don't know. You guys, it's like Halloween at Christmas. Nightmare Before Christmas, except it's like the surprise before Halloween. It's like the reverse. I love it. I love these cards. Witch, cauldron, graveyard. All right, I'm going to heat up some dinner and take a shower and just go to bed maybe a little earlier tonight. Excited about that. All right, y'all, be good, but not too good. Ciao.